Deep in the heart of the forest, the massive grizzly bear stood idly, its eyes scanning the surroundings for any signs of danger. Suddenly, a figure dashed towards the bear, swift and silent, and before the grizzly could react, it was lifted off its feet and carried towards a strange portal shimmering in the distance. With a loud crash, the grizzly bear landed in the Arctic icy cold wilderness, the shock of the sudden transportation leaving it slightly disoriented. As it slowly rose to its feet, it found itself face to face with a polar bear unlike any it had ever seen before. The polar bear had glowing purple eyes that seemed to pierce through the darkness, and it snarled menacingly at the grizzly. Before the grizzly could even react, the polar bear lunged at it, claws flashing in the dim light. The grizzly fought back, exchanging blows with the polar bear, but as the claws of the polar bear grazed its fur, something strange happened. The grizzly could feel a strange energy coursing through its body, and when it finally managed to land a blow on the polar bear, its own eyes began to glow with a similar purple light. The two bears continued to battle fiercely, their glowing eyes casting an eerie light across the icy wilderness. With each blow they exchanged, shockwaves rippled through the air, causing the ground beneath them to crack and shatter. The intensity of their battle only seemed to grow as they fought, each trying to outdo the other in speed and power. As the fight escalated, the two bears found themselves sinking down into the icy depths of the Arctic cold oceans, the water swirling around them as they continued their brutal and exhausting battle. Underwater, the glowing eyes of the bears only seemed to intensify, casting a surreal light in the dark depths. The polar bear and grizzly bear exchanged vicious blows, their claws and teeth tearing through the water with deadly precision. The shockwaves they generated grew stronger and more destructive, threatening to shatter the entire icy wilderness around them. But still, they continued their relentless fight, neither willing to back down. It was a battle of epic proportions, a clash of titans that seemed to defy the laws of nature. The two bears fought with a ferocity that was unmatched, their glowing eyes reflecting the primal rage that burned within them. As they unleashed their most powerful attacks on each other, the icy wilderness around them began to crumble and fall apart, the sheer force of their final blows causing the very ground to quake. And then, in a blinding flash of light, the glowing eyes of the bears suddenly went dark. Exhausted and injured from their relentless battle, the polar bear and grizzly bear finally succumbed to their wounds, sinking deeper and deeper into the icy cold depths of the Arctic Ocean. As the two bears vanished beneath the waves, their battle finally came to an end, leaving only the memory of their epic clash behind. The Arctic wilderness stood silent once more, the only sound the gentle lapping of the waves against the ice. And so, the polar bear and grizzly bear were lost to the depths of the ocean, their glowing eyes extinguished forever in the icy cold darkness. But the legend of their epic battle would live on, a testament to the raw power and fury that burned within them both. Words, 500. Words, 448. As the grizzly bear stood idly in the ground, feeling the cool breeze of the Arctic wilderness on its fur, a sudden figure dashed towards it. Before the grizzly bear could even react, it was picked up and carried through a portal that appeared out of thin air. When the grizzly bear crash landed into the icy cold wilderness of the Arctic, it woke up slightly disoriented. As it looked around, it saw a polar bear with purple eyes snarling right at it. The grizzly bear felt a surge of power within itself and realized that its own eyes were now glowing purple, just like the polar bear's. The two bears wasted no time and lunged at each other, their purple glowing eyes emitting powerful shockwaves as they collided. The icy surface beneath them suffered heavy cracks from the impact of their battle, but the bears paid no heed as they fought endlessly. Their battle continued to intensify, with each bear using their glowing eyes to boost their strength and speed. They exchanged powerful blows, clawing and biting at each other relentlessly. The sound of their roars echoed through the Arctic wilderness as they sank down into the icy depths of the ocean, still locked in combat. Underwater, the purple-eyed bears continued their brutal battle, the shockwaves they generated causing chaos in the depths of the Arctic Ocean. Their claws and teeth tore through the water, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. As their battle raged on, the bears grew stronger from each other's attacks, constantly regenerating from the injuries they inflicted. The icy cold waters did little to slow them down as they continued to exchange blows, their glowing eyes fueling their endless conflict. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the bears unleashed their most powerful attack on each other. Their neon-lit claw swipes collided with such force that the entire Arctic wilderness shattered around them. The ice cracked and splintered, unable to withstand the sheer power of their final clash. With a deafening roar, the purple glowing eyes of both bears suddenly turned off. Exhausted and injured, they both sank into the dark depths of the Arctic Ocean, their battle finally coming to an end. The waters swallowed them whole, leaving behind only the memory of their epic conflict. As the Arctic wilderness slowly returned to its icy calm, the two bears were never seen again. Their eternal battle had come to a close, leaving behind only a shattered landscape as a testament to their power and ferocity. And so, the purple-eyed bears were lost to the depths of the ocean, their legacy forever etched into the icy cold waters of the Arctic. Words, 542. The icy cold wind howled through the barren Arctic wilderness, sending shivers down the spine of any creature brave enough to venture into its unforgiving embrace. The grizzly bear stood tall, its fur bristling against the cold as it surveyed its surroundings, a predator at the top of its game. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a figure dashed towards the grizzly bear, its movements swift and precise. Before the bear could react, it was lifted off the ground and carried towards a shimmering portal that appeared out of thin air. With a loud roar, the grizzly bear crashed through the portal, landing roughly in the icy tundra on the other side. As the grizzly bear slowly regained its senses, it looked up to see a polar bear with glowing purple eyes snarling at it. The bear's own eyes widened in shock as it realized that its own eyes had taken on the same eerie glow after being scratched by the polar bear's claws during their journey through the portal. Without hesitation, the two bears charged at each other, their purple eyes ablaze with a fierce determination. They clashed with a thunderous roar, sending shockwaves rippling through the icy surface beneath them. The ground cracked and shattered under the force of their blows, but neither bear showed any sign of backing down. As the battle raged on, the two bears sank deeper and deeper into the frigid depths of the Arctic Ocean. They continued to exchange brutal blows, their claws slicing through the icy water with deadly precision. The shockwaves they generated grew stronger with each passing moment, threatening to tear apart the very fabric of the frozen world around them. Despite the exhaustion setting in, neither bear showed any sign of slowing down. They were locked in a battle of wills, determined to emerge victorious no matter the cost. As they neared the limits of their endurance, they unleashed their most powerful attacks yet, unleashing neon-lit claw swipes that sent shockwaves reverberating throughout the entire Arctic wilderness. With a final, deafening roar, the two bears clashed one last time, their bodies illuminated by the eerie glow of their purple eyes. The force of their final attack shattered the icy landscape around them, sending shards of ice flying in all directions. And then, as suddenly as it had begun, the battle was over. The purple glow in their eyes flickered and died, leaving the two bears panting and wounded in the dark depths of the Arctic Ocean. They had pushed themselves to their limits, and now they could do nothing but succumb to the exhaustion and injuries that had been inflicted upon them during their epic battle. As the icy waters closed in around them, the two bears sank deeper and deeper, their bodies disappearing into the cold, dark depths of the ocean. And as they vanished from sight, so too did their legacy of destruction and chaos, leaving only silence in their wake. In the end, the purple-eyed bears had fought a battle unlike any other, a battle that had shaped the very landscape of the Arctic wilderness. And though they had been consumed by their own power, their legend would live on in the hearts of those who witnessed their epic struggle. Words. 471. In the heart of the Arctic wilderness, a lone grizzly bear stood idly, enjoying the peace and tranquility of his surroundings. The massive creature was a force to be reckoned with, his fur bristling in the icy winds as he surveyed the vast expanse of snow and ice before him. Suddenly, a figure dashed out of nowhere and slammed into the grizzly bear, sending him crashing through a portal of shimmering light. The bear tumbled through the unknown space, disoriented and confused, until he crash-landed in the icy cold wilderness of the Arctic. As the grizzly bear struggled to his feet, he was met with a chilling sight, a polar bear with glowing purple eyes, snarling at him fiercely. The grizzly bear's own eyes widened in shock as he realized that his opponent was no ordinary polar bear, it was as if the creature had been infused with some strange, otherworldly power. Without hesitation, the two bears lunged at each other, their glowing purple eyes locked in a fierce battle of wills. The ground beneath them trembled as they unleashed powerful shockwaves with each clash, causing cracks to form in the icy surface of the Arctic wilderness. The grizzly bear felt his fur stand on end as he exchanged blows with the polar bear, each attack leaving behind deep scratches and wounds. But to his surprise, the grizzly bear found that he too had developed glowing purple eyes, matching his opponent in power and ferocity. The two bears continued to fight relentlessly, their glowing eyes casting an eerie light across the icy landscape as they battled with teeth, claws, and sheer brute strength. As they fought, their powers seemed to grow stronger, fueling their endless conflict with a seemingly never-ending supply of energy. With a final, desperate effort, the two bears unleashed their most powerful attack yet, a neon-lit claw swipe that sent shockwaves rippling through the icy depths of the Arctic Ocean. The force of their combined power was enough to shatter the very ice beneath their feet, causing the entire wilderness to quake and tremble. As the dust settled, the glowing purple eyes of both bears flickered and dimmed, their bodies exhausted and battered from the prolonged battle. With a final, weary sigh, the two bears sank into the icy depths of the Arctic Ocean, disappearing into the dark abyss below. And so, the grizzly bear and the polar bear, both transformed by their intense battle, met their end in the icy waters of the Arctic, their power finally spent as they succumbed to the injuries and exhaustion brought on by their eternally long and destructive conflict. Their legacy would live on in the shattered remains of the Arctic wilderness, a testament to the fierce power of two bears locked in an endless struggle for supremacy.